Welcome back to Missouri Mayhem, Mystery and Murder. I'm Mindy.
And I'm Megan. We are so happy to be back with you this week. We hope everybody out there listening is having a great day. And we are already on case number 3.
Trace.
I know. So we've had the Gregory May case, we had the Bobby Greenlease case, and today we have the Baby Lisa Irwin case that happened in 2011. Yes. So before we get into that, Mindy, what have you been up to lately this last week or two because we haven't recorded for a little over a week?
No, we haven't. I've missed you.
Missed you.
So I went on a trip with some people that I went to high school with. We went to Mexico and had a really, really good time. And that's pretty much what I've been consumed with in the last week or so. And
packing
just, and getting arrested from that. What have you been doing?
Honestly, I had a pretty chill week. I did sub for the first time.
And how did that go?
In a long time. And it was at
we're giggling because we know what happened.
Right. We're giggling and it was good. And the kids were super sweet and the day went really well. But I'm like, you know what? I might not want to sub that much. So I think I'm loving retirement, you know?
I think that's
loving
good.
Retirement. So anyways, It was great, but loving retirement and really loving that I have time to put into the podcast.
Absolutely.
So, anywho.
Okay. Well, today we are going back to 2011, like we said earlier, to the Baby Lisa Irwin case. Here are just a few facts from 2011 that year. Favorite car, the Ford F-Series pickup truck was voted the best vehicle with the Toyota Camry coming in second.
Not surprised by that.
Yeah. The favorite song of 2011 was Rolling in the Deep by Adele. I don't know what that is.
You don't?
I don't know that song.
You want me to sing it?
Yes.
You don't want me
a little
to sing
bit.
Rolling in the deep.
Oh, okay.
That song.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah. Sing, but I think that's what.
That was really good. The favorite movie of 2011 was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows.
Oh, yes.
That was also that spring we had the Joplin, Missouri tornado. Remember that?
My gosh,
it was terrible. So that's been 14 years now.
Wow.
The royal wedding of Kate and William happened. Also, the Casey Anthony case happened. That was also the year of Kim Kardashian's 72-day marriage to Chris Humphries. Remember that?
That's right.
Also, in 2011, Oprah did her farewell show. We finally got Osama bin Laden that year.
That's right.
Sexiest man alive. Anybody want to guess? 2011 sexiest man alive. Drum roll.
Let me guess. Hold on. George Clooney.
Nope. Bradley Cooper.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I would agree.
I agree. Yes.
Okay. Price of a pair of Nike sneakers was $60.
That has increased significantly.
That has a lot. And the top 10 baby names.
Oh, I thought this was cool.
Yeah. The top 5 girl names were Sophia, Isabella, Emma, Olivia, and Ava. And the top 5 boys' names were, Jacob, Mason, William, Jaden, and Noah.
That is kind of interesting just because those kids were born the same time as Baby Lisa.
Yes.
So there are a lot of probably people, kids that are 14 now with those names.
Yes.
And
really, that's about it. I got married that year. So did our cousin Brooke.
A lot happened in 2011.
That was eventful. Yeah,
that was a big year in the world and in life, and very, very interesting.
Okay, well, shall we get into the case?
Let's do it.
All right,
let's go.
Today we're going to be talking about the case of Lisa Renee Irwin. It was also known as the Baby Lisa case that occurred right here in Kansas City on October 3rd of 2011. 14 years later, it is a case that has never been solved, you guys. I remember when that happened. She was a sweet little healthy girl.
Same.
Couldn't believe that happened. And she literally vanished in the middle of the night.
Ugh,
Baby Lisa, she was never found. Nobody was ever arrested in this case. But there's a lot of theories. It's very interesting, and I think you're going to have your own theories, Megan. Yeah.
Another theory to add to the list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lisa Renee Irwin was born on November 11th, 2010, to her parents, Deborah Bradley. She was a 25-year-old stay-at-home mom, and her dad, Jeremy Irwin, who was a 29-year-old electrician in Kansas City, Missouri. Lisa lived at 3620 North Lister Avenue with her parents and 2 older brothers who were 5 and 7 at that time.
Yeah.
Somewhere between the evening of Monday, October 3rd of 2011 and the morning of Tuesday, October 4th, 2011, someone took her out of her crib. Now, Megyn, we talked on a previous podcast about how you were hiding at Metro North Mall in the clothes.
Right.
And how mom was so worried. Imagine that times a million. Yes.
A million.
Seeing your baby not being in her crib.
And I think I actually like did the math because we had talked about that before. And like from November 11th to today has been 5,099 days.
Oh, wow.
That family has had to wonder where their baby went. Yeah. So
terrible.
Sad. Yes.
Just
awful.
A feeling that it doesn't go away.
Right.
Okay. So what we know happened that night, I'm going to give you a little timeline and we'll call it the what we know happened timeline.
Like these are things that can pretty much be confirmed.
Yes,
kind of thing.
These things happened. Okay.
And you know, one thing before we get started too, that as we've been doing, talking more about this case too, is, you know, of course you had baby Lisa, but you know, like you just said, there was also a 5 and a 7-year-old in the home and how that has impacted their life.
Well, yeah. And now they're at the age where they can read.
Right.
So they can see all the stuff that's out about their sister.
Yeah. So just, I'm like, you know, of course there was her and then there were 2 other little kids in the house.
Yes, there were 5 and 7. And I'm not going to say their names.
No, sure.
I'm just not. But
yes. Okay.
So this is the what we know timeline. Okay. So on the evening or close to the evening of October 3rd, 2011, at 4:30 p.m., excuse me, Deborah and her brother went to a store. They're on camera. They buy wine and baby supplies.
Yes.
No big deal.
And this is Deborah's brother.
Yes. And he has nothing to do with the case. He was ruled out. Right. So don't worry about him. But anyway, they needed supplies. So that happened at 4:30. So then they go back to Deborah's house. At 5 p.m., Deborah's neighbor, her name is Samantha Brando, she comes over with her daughter for a play date / dinner thing with their kids, you know, and that's something, you know, a lot of us have done before. So her neighbor, so just trying to think about it, is this like her next door neighbor? Is this a neighbor from down the street? I believe it's the next door neighbor.
Okay, yes. So someone close.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So anyway, they come over at 5 p.m. to start their play date. Jeremy, he is an electrician, like I stated earlier, and he is kind of on call a lot. And a lot of his hours are, I don't know, he has different shifts, you know, all times of day and night, but he gets a call around, you know, this time 5 that he needs to go into work at a nearby Starbucks. He's working on an electric project at the nearby Starbucks. So he left for work around 5:15. Okay. So it's 6 p.m. The ladies, so Deborah and Samantha, Deborah and the neighbor are having dinner with their children. Okay. So everybody's there. Lisa's there. Everything's fine. At 6:30, after they've eaten, Deborah decides to put baby Lisa to bed, to put her in her crib for the night.
Right. Gets her ready for bed.
Yes. So she does that. She puts her in her crib and says goodnight to her babies. The boys and the neighbor's child are in the living room watching TV. Everything's great. So then the women proceed to the front stoop, as they keep referring to it. So the front step, to have some drinks, you know, maybe a smoke, catch up,
just like
anybody. And you're going to find that she gets a lot of negative slack about the whole drinking thing.
Well, but anyway, I mean, that's a normal, like, okay, I can think, you know, the town we grew up in. And I also think like, where Terry and I lived, like that was a normal thing. Like neighbors would come over, you go to their house, you'd have the baby monitor or whatever.
And plus they're on the front stoop. Yes. So no one's going to get past them and in the house and get their children. Like they're right there.
Right.
And, you know, we'll talk about when Megyn and I drove by this location a little bit, but it's definitely like a ranch house. There's you know,
So but this is and like, I think you're right. She gets I think she's gotten a lot of heat. And I mean, from what we've seen, like she's doing normal things, normal people would do.
Absolutely. So, okay. So that was at 6:30. They're having drinks on the front stoop. Between 8 and 10, Shane Beagley, who is a 33-year-old landscaper who was the grandson of a neighbor, stops by for a visit with the ladies. Okay. He hung out with them for a little bit. He was immediately ruled out, so we don't need to worry about him at this point either.
Don't even worry about him.
Okay. They interviewed him and did a lot of things, and he was immediately ruled out.
He just happened to stop by that evening.
Yeah. So now it's about 10:30. They're still in the front stoop having drinks, hanging out, Deborah and Samantha. And somewhere between 10:30 and 11, Samantha goes home.
Okay.
And that's when Deborah claims that she checked on her boys and then baby Lisa for the last time.
Okay.
So about 10:30 to 11. She said Lisa was in her bed, quote, fast asleep in her crib.
Okay.
Okay. Then, after she puts the children to bed, she left 3 cell phones on the kitchen table.
Whoa.
2 of them did not work properly because of restricted use, and the other one worked. So of the 3 cell phones, 1 worked.
Okay.
These cell phones would end up missing, and we're going to talk a lot, get into the cell phone situation a lot deeper because, yeah.
So all 3 of these phones end up missing?
Yes, it was like someone just swiped them off the counter or off the table. Yes.
Okay, that's not good.
Grabbed them all.
Okay. Wow.
So, yeah. So those phones ended up missing, and we'll talk a little bit more about those in a little bit. So Jeremy, he gets off of his shift and gets home around 4:15. His shift was originally supposed to be over at midnight.
Okay.
But he ended up being, like I said earlier, sometimes he would be on call. They ended up asking him to work until 4.
Gotcha.
So he gets off at 4. He gets home at 4:15. When he got home, he said he immediately felt like something was off. He felt like his home had not been shut down properly. Mm-hmm. And so what happened is he went to go inside the house. The front door was unlocked, which was rare for them. It was usually always locked.
Yeah.
And all of the lights in the house were on. So he immediately was like, something is off. What do you think about that, Megyn?
That shut down properly. Mm-hmm. If you think about it, I don't know about you. Like we have kind of a routine at night. You check the doors and make sure they're locked. Is everything? If I've lit any candles, did I blow those out? You're kind of, is the thermostat where we want it? So I can see where you could, when you pull up to your home, be like, wait a second, especially if, did you say the lights were on?
Yeah.
Yes. So so his gut was probably saying, this is not what we do when we go to bed at night.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he noticed all of that. And, first thing he did was go check on his kids. Okay. So he went, the boys were where they were supposed to be. And nobody, he went to check on baby Lisa and she was not there. I don't know how else to say that, but she was not there. So immediately I think he thought, well, she's in bed with, Deborah. So he goes to the bedroom and she is not in bed with Deborah. The baby is not. And so he wakes up Deborah,
Where's Lisa?
Lisa is not here. Could you even imagine?
My heart's kind of racing.
My heart is racing just talking about it. But she is not there. So first thing they do is think, she was almost 11 months old. So she was getting to the point where she could start kind of pulling her way up, maybe in the crib a little bit. Oh, and it's not unthinkable that she would have done that. And then, topsy-turvy over the top, and ended up on the floor, just fell out. Yeah. So immediately when they realized, she wasn't in bed with anybody, they looked everywhere. They looked under the crib. Then maybe she crawled to a different destination looking. So they're looking all over the house, under everything, everywhere.
And again, your heart's just pounding the whole time.
And Jeremy even ran next door to see if, the neighbor knew anything like that. And while they were searching, they found something pretty terrifying. The window in their computer / office, sorry about the dog barks, the computer room, the window screen had been tampered with. It was peeled back. Yes. And I think after seeing the window screen, this is when shit got real for them. Like she's maybe been taken.
Yeah. I think you you go from, okay, she has to be somewhere. Like, okay, and yeah, the lights were on, but okay. But then the window's been messed with.
Yeah.
Okay, then that you're just, I think
Yeah.
that changes from.
I think the heartbeat went up
even
even
faster.
faster. Yes.
Yes.
So immediately Jeremy goes to find one of the cell phones to call 911. Well, they're all gone. So he has to make the 911 call from his work phone.
So she says all 3 cell phones were there when I went to bed.
Yes.
And he comes home at this is like 5-ish or 4-ish.
Yes.
And they're gone.
Yes.
Okay.
So they finally made the 911 call. It didn't take them that long to make the call either. It wasn't like there was some really long period of time that was shady or anything like that.
Because you figure he gets home, doesn't see her, asks, looks, calls, finds the window. I mean, all that could happen in a matter of like 5 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, after that 911 call was made, that was literally the start of a massive, massive search for who we now call Baby Lisa.
Right.
Yes. So the investigation, you guys probably remember this. I remember they were everywhere. They looked everywhere. They did an extensive investigation that included neighborhood searches, well and field searches, the activation of an Amber Alert.
Yeah.
They searched the Missouri River because they didn't live too far away from it. And they even called in the National Guard.
Yeah. I mean, which it sounds like they took it seriously.
Very
from
seriously.
The start. So
yes.
that's, sometimes these cases where they don't take it seriously or they lag and hours go by before they've done anything. So
yes,
it's good to know they took it seriously at least right away.
Yes, for sure. So here's another timeline for you guys. I gave you the what we know happened timeline. Here is the few suspicious things timeline we're going to call that occurred between the hours of 12 a.m. and 4 a.m. on Tuesday, October 4th in the Irwin neighborhood that police found. These are all things that they found. So like I said, we'll call it
So this is from 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. while Deborah assumes everyone's sleeping soundly in her house. Mm-hmm. So this is the time they're all sleeping, and we're assuming this might be when something happened to Lisa.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
So all of these things happened. At 12 a.m., the one phone that worked, remember there were 3 stolen,
yes.
Excuse me, and 2 of them didn't work. The one phone that did work made a 50-second call that was traced back to a woman who had connection with suspects. Her name is Megyn Wright. She said she didn't know what was said. She didn't know who called her or who answered her phone. The police believe that person who called her was the person who took Lisa. Okay, that paragraph that I just said screams so much to me. Like, that is such a key to this. And we are going to talk about that phone again here in a little bit.
Yeah, especially if it's at midnight from that phone. And I'm assuming this person, Megyn Wright, someone that Deborah's never heard of.
No, never
heard of her. So it's not like she got up and dialed a friend and didn't remember because she'd had too much to drink or something.
And I'm going to tell you exactly who she is here in a minute.
Perfect.
I'm going to tell you exactly. There's more to that whole stolen phone story.
Okay, that definitely screams shady.
So at 12, this stolen phone makes a call. Okay, at 12:15, the neighbors, the Parscales, I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. I think I am, but I'm not sure. The Parscales, the family up the street, husband and wife, report seeing a man walking up the street holding a baby. And what happened was Mr. Parscale was outside getting in his vehicle, getting ready to go to work. He had a night shift. Okay. Yes. And Mrs. Parscale was looking out her blinds at him while he got in his car. And both of them noticed at the same time this man carrying a baby walking up the street. Yes. And Mrs. Parscale said that it was a very chilly night and they were both, underdressed for such a chilly night. And it didn't make sense that this baby just had on a diaper, it appeared.
Yeah. And it's 12:15 a.m. and you're, very suspicious.
And she said that the man that was carrying her was holding the baby close to him. So that makes me think that she was definitely still alive, and maybe he was trying to keep her warm or was trying to, I don't know, somehow take care of her.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, because if
Like
she
he was
did
protecting
have,
her, maybe?
yes, if she did have pajamas on that he'd removed because he didn't want anyone to be able to identify her. And so, yeah, then naturally the only way to keep her warm is to hold her close. So it makes you think, okay, maybe she's alive and at least someone has a little nurturing instinct.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's the hope.
Hopefully, yes.
Yes. So that happened at the Parscales in their front yard at 12:15.
Okay.
So at 12:30, there was another sighting. Another woman observed a man walking around the neighborhood with a baby. She described him the same as the Parscales did. There's not a whole lot of information about that. That's all we really know.
Okay.
At 2:30, so 2 hours later, at 2:30 a.m., there is a dumpster fire near a BP. It's not the one that we looked at.
But it wasn't that one? Okay.
No. Near a BP gas station. There were baby clothes later found in that dumpster, but they were proven not to be Baby Lisa's. What are the chances of that?
That's what I was going to say.
And, we're going to talk more about fire also here in just a little bit. That's really interesting with this dumpster fire.
But what are the odds that you're looking for an infant
and you find
in that area?
Yeah.
And there's burned baby clothes and they're not hers?
They were not hers.
Oh, my goodness.
So that happened at 2:30 at the dumpster fire. Then at 2:45 a.m. at a nearby BP gas station, there's a surveillance camera.
Not the one we went to.
It is the one we went to.
That one.
Yes.
Okay, now it's that one. So,
yes.
So there were 2 BPs.
Okay, well, there are 2 BPs, but the one that we went to over the hill were the dumpsters. We originally thought the dumpsters were at the BP. They were not. They were over the hill at a different location.
Okay.
So the dumpsters happened first.
And
then at the BP gas station, the one that we went to, and we're going to tell you guys about that in a minute. Their surveillance camera shows a man in a light t-shirt emerging from the woods that bordered Baby Lisa's neighborhood.
Okay.
And it was very grainy and you could hardly see a baby at all.
So it was like there might be a baby there, but he could also be holding something else.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So just so many things almost there.
Yes.
Yes.
Ugh. I just wish that the Parscales had called the police right then.
Oh, I know.
Because it was right by her house and he hadn't gotten very far yet. If you believe the theory that this person did it.
And you wonder, okay, did the Parscales know that there were infants in their neighborhood? Did they know the Irwins had a little baby? Like in your mind, are you thinking this is weird? Could that be someone's baby from the neighborhood? I mean, I don't know if your mind goes there, but yeah, you're like, oh, if you see something weird, report it.
And so at 4 a.m., a man named Mike Thompson, he's a motorcyclist. He is getting ready to merge onto the highway when he sees a man matching the person of interest. So he saw the man with the light t-shirt.
Okay.
And he said that it wasn't that far from Lisa's house where he exited off to get onto the highway.
So pretty close proximity to where Lisa lived.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So anyway, he sees this man holding a baby and he said he wanted to offer them a ride, but he was on a motorcycle, so he couldn't. But that's how underdressed they looked.
Yes.
Was that the man and the man holding the baby both looked really cold.
Enough that this guy is like, okay, this is off.
Yes.
And maybe they need help.
Yes. And like I said, he wanted to give him a ride. He didn't. The next day, detectives were sent to that man's house, and he said that did look like the man that we're going to talk about here in a minute.
In a little bit. The main movie kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
so this is like clue number 4.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I'm saying yes a lot.
I know.
We know we say absolutely a lot, think.
Yeah, we're doing our best. We're doing our best to not repeat all those words.
Okay, so, but you know how it naturally goes. Police, they've done all this searching, and then of course they come back to the parents.
They're like,
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it starts with the parents' investigation.
Because statistically speaking, whether it's kids or adults, majority of the time it is
someone that
is
very
they know.
Close to
yes,
them.
It's not a stranger. Yes. So yeah.
So Deborah and Jeremy, they took polygraphs. They sat through hours and hours of questioning. At one time, they had her going at over 12 hours of interrogation.
I read that.
Also, she took a polygraph and passed it, but they acted like she didn't pass it. And evidently that's something that they legally can do.
They can.
And right when they got done with her, they said something to the effect to her, like, you are a terrible mother and tell us what you did with her.
And
very
now she's like
making her think she did not pass her polygraph.
Right. She's like, oh shit, like, you think I did this?
Yeah.
And you're right because I've seen that a lot. Like, they can come back in and say you failed miserably when
just
you didn't
to see your reaction.
Yes, and
alone, because they think that right then you're going to go, oh, you know what, you're right, I did it.
But then they do get false confessions,
yes,
and that's again
they
a whole
really
other
do.
Story.
They do, but they did everything. Like I said, they brought in cadaver dogs. They had their homes and phones searched. Their computers were searched,
and were very cooperative.
Very cooperative.
Yes, I read that too. Like, very cooperative,
especially the first few days. They were getting judged by the world. And yes. So they cooperated with the authorities until that Thursday, October 6th.
Okay.
They finally, I don't know why they didn't lawyer up immediately. But
I think from what I've read a little bit is they felt like the police were doing a good job. They knew they would be questioned. They knew, but I think when Deborah realized, not only am I just being generically questioned, like, they're kind of trying to point the finger at me.
Yes.
Yeah. And maybe then we need to lawyer up.
Yes. But, they should have lawyered up
immediately.
Like, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
But anyway, they did get a really good attorney. His name's Sean O'Brien. I'm not sure if he still practices or not, but he basically took over the mic for them and spoke for them, from there on out. And I can't say I blame them.
Well, but then sadly, people are like, well, now they aren't cooperating. If a lawyer's talking for them, which isn't true.
But that's what they did do. That they did that to them.
Right. They've made them have to get a lawyer to protect themselves. And then now people are like, well, you're not cooperating.
You must have done it.
Right. It's just double-edged sword.
Yeah, let's get into some theories about all of this. And I will at the end tell you what I think, and I want to see what you think.
Okay. Yeah.
So, all of the theories that I'm going to present to you have been tested by law enforcement.
Okay.
Like we said earlier, no one's been arrested for this. So,
I mean, nobody has spent a day in jail.
No,
for any
not one single day.
No.
So therefore they are all innocent, all of these theories. And
of course,
so we just have to address that. So these are all theories that we're going to tell you that they were up against before they were proven innocent. Okay, number one theory that's on everybody's mind, Deborah Bradley.
Mom.
Yes, and it all revolves around a lot of it. Did she do something with her? Was there an accident? Anyway, so here is kind of the Deborah Bradley theory. Okay, Deborah and her neighbor, Samantha, were just hanging out, chilling on the front stoop, having some drinks. People, like I said, we talked, people judge her for this.
Well,
I don't, because this is totally not anything. There's nothing wrong with that.
This is not abnormal.
Okay. After the kids left, she went to check on her kids. She said her boys were good. She went to the crib to get baby Lisa, and maybe there was an accident. This is the theory that a lot of people think, that maybe she dropped baby Lisa. Maybe she got her in bed with her and rolled over on her. Maybe there was some sort of accident and
because she'd been drinking.
Yes. And that, yes, Megyn.
And that, it's like, if alcohol had not been involved,
right,
her whole story probably would have been differently.
Well, I don't know if it would be or not. I think they still may have found a way to come after her, because that is
true.
kind of what
True.
happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe there was an accident, and you know, those cadaver dogs, they supposedly did find a little something on the carpet of their bedroom,
but like not blood, right?
No, and also we need to take note, cadaver dogs can be wrong.
Sure.
It's called a false positive when something's positive and it's not.
Yes.
Even a dirty diaper can set off something like that.
That's what I was
Or
going
a
to say.
tiny little bit of like fecal matter. Just
Yes.
that could set off a cadaver dog.
So, I mean, it's not like they found blood. This family lives in this home.
Yeah.
So it'd been shocking if the dog hadn't hit on something.
Yes.
Right? To me, that doesn't prove
there's a
anything.
Baby. I mean,
I don't know. Yeah.
So,
maybe not.
So that theory is like maybe something happened to her, like something happened, and instead of calling 911, she disposed of the body somehow and made it look like a kidnapping. Okay.
I know.
Now,
it could have happened.
Yeah. So they think, okay, she tampered with the window screen to make it look suspicious.
Right.
Left the front door unlocked on purpose. She turned on all the lights to look suspicious.
Right.
She disposed of their phones so the police could not search them. Like, there's all these theories what she did. And I'll tell you, she was scared to death. So I have watched a couple of interviews with her talking about her alcohol consumption that night. And she initially started off saying, I had a couple.
Yeah.
Well, then she said, well, or maybe up to 10.
So 10.
Yeah. And I'm still not like shocked and awed or flabbergasted by any of that. But that's what people do sometimes, you know.
They do.
Especially, she was 25 years old. Like, I am so guilty of doing things like that at that age.
Well, but here's the thing. She put her kids to bed.
She was being responsible.
She's on the front step. Here's the thing. She had put her kids to bed. Yeah. All things say she'd been to the store, got things for the baby supplies. Like, she was taking care of her family. And if you can't drink at your home, where can you drink?
Right, on your front stoop.
And because she has kids, she's not allowed to drink.
And the kids are right there inside watching TV, hanging out. There is no harm.
And she probably initially, when she was interviewed, when they said, have you been drinking tonight, or asked or knew, or
a little bit.
I knew she probably in her mind instantly, she's like, oh shit. Like, I've been drinking. Now they're gonna. So I'm totally like you. Like, okay, yeah, there's a big difference between 2 and 10, but think about the situation.
Yeah.
And I don't think, not that all that theory couldn't have happened, but I just don't feel like, I'm sorry, but if she would have done something to her baby, I feel like number one, she either would have called 911, or number two, so in those few hours, and then her husband came home, she did all that and then was fine in her bed sleeping. And
you know, Megyn, the interviews I've seen with her crying, you know, there's levels of crying and sobbing. There's your standard sob. There's your grieving sob. Then there's your grieving mother sob, which is a whole nother level. It's not even a sob. It's a wail. It's a heart-wrenching. And the videos I watched of her when she is crying, oh my goodness gracious, she is not playing. I don't think. No. I really don't.
No.
I feel like she is a mother who has lost a baby.
Yeah. We've talked to some people about this case over the last few weeks, and we've noticed people either have looked into the case. People who have looked, I feel like, deep into the case feel about the mom same as we do for the most part. Too. And if you've only heard about the broad details of the case, you tend to kind of want to blame the mom.
Sure.
So I think it's one of those things where if you don't know all the facts, don't judge. And when
I very first started looking into this, I really kind of had like a small assumption in my head that, you know, it's the mother.
Right.
But no, just wait.
Yes.
So
and if she is a guilty mom, some of the things we're going to talk about in a minute don't add up then. Yeah.
No, and what really sucks is the part about what time she put her to bed, because she came to say afterwards that, you know what, I said it was 6:30, but I don't fully remember putting her in bed at 6:30, so it may have been 10:30.
When she put her to bed.
The last time she saw her and put her to bed, yes.
Yes.
Her stories about her alcohol consumption and the last time she saw her changed. I think she was just scared.
Sure. Well, I can't remember what I ate yesterday for lunch.
I
And
know.
and then when you're under pressure and your child's
6:30, sure. And then you think, you're like, oh my
I
gosh, it
don't-
wasn't 6:30.
now do I look guilty now? Now if I go back and I'm going to have to change what I said, but
Yeah.
So there's some, let's talk about kind of those problems then with that theory.
So, okay, if she had an accident, how could she dispose of a baby so quickly?
Right. Exact. I think that too.
They looked thoroughly.
All around.
How could she do that? And she would have to done it within walking distance, you know?
And they searched everywhere.
They did. And she passed the polygraph. Let's not forget that. She did pass a polygraph test. And like we said earlier, Deborah Bradley has never had to do one single day behind bars. And I'm very happy for that, because we're getting ready to talk about another theory. This guy, his name is John Tanko.
Oh boy.
But they call him Jersey.
Yes.
Because he is from New Jersey.
Okay.
And excuse me, he happened to be the handyman in that Northland neighborhood that they lived in when this happened. He did several odd jobs that included for the neighborhood, like yard work, mowing, weed eating, seeding, planting, pruning. He also did a lot of house maintenance and minor repairs. And looking into him, he has one hell of a rap sheet.
So that's what I was going to ask. So do we know how he came to be in this Northland neighborhood? Do we know that? Or we just know he had some connections there that let him do odd jobs?
I don't know where he lived.
Okay.
But he had connections all throughout the neighborhood. He was doing odd jobs. You could call them odd jobs for everyone in the neighborhood. Okay. And I think people just trusted him.
Sure.
But
wanted to help him.
Yeah, wanted to help him. But he had a really, really huge rap sheet. And I'm going to share with you what I have found on him.
Makes you wonder if any of these neighbors knew this stuff.
Well, he had a history of breaking into houses while people were on vacation.
Yep.
One of his victims that was on vacation while he broke into their house said he got in through the windows.
So we've got the screen tampered with.
So, yeah. A neighbor that lives just a block from the Irwin house said that he has had to call the cops on Tanko, or Jersey, we'll call him Jersey, 2 or 3 times to report him trying to break into his neighbor's house while they were away.
Oh my gosh.
He was also entering through the windows.
Had to call 2 or 3 times?
Yes, when he did that.
Oh my gosh.
He also had an obsession with fire.
Yeah.
He was noted to be kicked out of bars frequently. He also was said to have been spitting on customers.
Wow. So he
has a rap sheet. Yeah.
He's got a lot of stuff.
He was described as being one rung above homeless, which what does that mean? That means one more illegal thing and you got nothing. What is it?
Yeah. Or he's homeless, but he's actually homeless and one above that, as in like he's got a criminal past.
Yes.
He's not
Plus
just
he's gonna
homeless.
Be homeless. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So he's desperate.
Yeah.
Which is scary. We've talked about that before, how desperate people can do bad things.
Speaking of desperation, if he did it, what's the reason? Like maybe he needed a baby to sell into human sex trafficking. That's an option.
Oh my
Or maybe someone had hired him. But anyway, he is a theory. And also, he could have been watching the house from afar.
Yes.
He knew that Jeremy was working that night. Because remember I told you he worked odd hours and sometimes he would just get called in. Well, that's what happened to him that night.
And Jersey was working next door?
Yes, that day. He was working I don't know if it was next door or across the street, but right there.
And here he could see them maybe sitting out on their porch drinking.
Sitting on the stoop, having drinks in broad daylight, which turned into nighttime.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and we've talked about maybe someone hired him to kidnap a baby for a pregnancy they'd been staging.
Yes, which is a whole nother case. We have one we're going to cover similar with a situation similar like that. Yes.
Yes.
Like, was he paid to kidnap a baby? Did he want a baby? And this whole human sex trafficking, that he could have, and people will be like, no, a baby, an infant. No, I just finished listening. It was very sad, but it was also very inspiring about the child sex trafficking that's happening in all different countries now. And
yes,
it does go down to infants. Terribly, sadly.
It does.
It's awful.
Yes.
And if you're interested, there's a whole podcast called Finding Ruby about that, and a girl who was rescued out of that. But that can happen. So
that absolutely can happen.
Yes. Even in Kansas City.
Yeah. And it doesn't really, I think all ages are legit for getting sex trafficked.
Even
humans.
Yeah.
Even because I looked up my age.
Yes.
I was like, can a 53-year-old woman be,
sex trafficked?
Yes. And absolutely.
For
There's
sure.
a need for every age. And so just when you think you got out of the age of sex trafficking, no, you're not.
No.
You can be, that can happen at any age. So
there are people willing,
ladies, watch your back and your babies
to take
advantage
of people any age. Yeah, exactly. So, sorry. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we said, so if people think that can't happen, it could. Yeah.
It could. And so the whole window thing, okay, here's what I think about the window.
Okay, that's what I was going to
ask. So, the window was tampered with. So Jeremy, this is with the Jersey Tanko theory, is that he may have went through that window. Well, it was proven that he did not get through that window.
And that window wasn't her bedroom anyway.
No,
right?
That was the office computer room.
Okay.
So that window, the police came and tried to reenact getting into that window.
Okay, yeah.
And it's possible that it was very, very, very difficult to get in that window. Okay. So what could have happened is that,
and why because it's a ranch house.
Mm-hmm.
What was it that was difficult about getting in?
So basically, if you walk up to the window, it would come like right under,
like right along
your boobs.
Your rib.
Yes.
Yeah, like your boob rib cage
right, it would
area.
come there. And to get in from there on a brick house would be really difficult and loud. It would be noisy.
It'd take a lot of upper body strength.
So my theory about him is that he attempted to get in the office window, but realized it was noisy.
Couldn't do it.
And also, Megyn, it was proven that he never made it in that window because there was a mound of dust that was built up on the window sill, and it was still all intact.
Not disturbed.
If someone or him or anyone had gotten in that window, that dust would have been disturbed. Yeah. And
100%. It would have at least had some smudges or shown. Yes.
And there were no fingerprints around it.
So he didn't get far into the window at all before he realized.
No. And I think he just said, you know what? Fuck that window. I'm going to go in the front door.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he got in that front door. If maybe Deborah accidentally left it unlocked because she had been drinking. Sorry, but you do things like that when you have been drinking.
Yes.
Or if he rigged it open. I mean, I remember I used to lock myself out of my duplex from time to time back in the day. I'm not joking.
It happens.
And I did the whole credit card method.
Yeah.
Or card, whatever card you got method, where you put it in the door and it
worked.
I literally knew how to unlock my
door. So that really worked.
It really, really worked. So
really.
From his rap sheet, he's pretty savvy with stuff like that. It wouldn't surprise me if he did that little trick.
I mean, if he's been breaking
what
into
am I saying
homes,
about myself?
Hey, no.
I promise I've never broken into homes.
It's better than what I did one time when I got locked up my house.
Oh,
the
no.
Screen door was locked and I could not get it open, and it was kind of broke anyways. And I ended up just basically
busting the screen,
ripping it off.
Oh, no.
I'm like, been a long day at work. I'm getting in here.
You should have done the credit card.
See, I didn't know about that.
But I don't think the credit. Don't try that.
No, I won't.
Because I don't think that works anymore. I think we all have Ring cams and stuff now.
But if he's been breaking into homes regularly, he knows the tricks.
Yeah. So I think he just walked in that front door, walked right back out, and I think he had gloves on.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's a little bit of information. He was actually in charge of a neighbor's water sprinkler.
Okay.
And at 11 p.m. the night that baby Lisa, the water sprinkler turned off. not on its own. Someone had to manually do it. They think that was him.
Oh, that's weird.
And so I think he may have already had gloves on and came from that sprinkler. But anyway.
And he shut it off because he would have had to walk through it.
No, I think it was just his job to shut it off. He was doing that as one of his jobs. Yeah.
Okay. But it shows
around the neighborhood. Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
So.
Were they able to tell what time he turned it off? Probably not.
11.
Oh, so they knew at 11.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay. Yep. Oh, wow. So they can pretty much put him right there in the vicinity at 11 p.m.
Yes.
Based on that. Okay.
Yes. So many people claim, like we talked about, to have seen him with what we think is baby Lisa. I think, well, I'll tell you what I think in a minute, but a lot of people either think that he killed her. I don't know why he would kill her though. Like there's really no reason to just break into someone's house and kill a baby.
Kidnap the baby.
Like for what reason? Yes. So I think that that's a possibility, he killed her. Or he sold her into human trafficking, or he just gave her to someone to raise. That someone needed it. He's maybe paid. I don't know. That was all I told you about my theory.
So does this Jersey guy still live in this area? I assume police keep an eye on him to make sure he's not raising a girl that's that same age or anything.
I'm going to tell you what Jersey is doing here in a minute.
Because I'm thinking surely they're watching him.
I will tell you that he is in jail.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, that answers a few questions. So,
yes. So,
okay.
Yeah. So that's this theory that,
yes,
he gave her to someone or whatever. So
that someone had staged a pregnancy or needed a baby.
Possibly. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So, and also there was an attorney for the Irwin family that stated that Tanko, aka Jersey, had bragged to someone about being paid to kidnap Lisa.
Someone reported that?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, okay.
Okay, so now let's get back to the phones.
The 3 phones?
Yes.
Where did those suckers go?
Okay, so were they sitting out together and Jersey took them so they would not have a way of calling the police immediately? Right. That's a possibility.
So he had more time to do his thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And that explains the strange midnight call from the working phone.
So he made one call.
Yes.
And okay. Before he took them.
It was a quick grab and go, this theory about him. Right in, right out, like we talked about the front door. And I think that part of this theory, he turned on all the lights in the house so he could just see where he was going, knowing that she was passed out in her bed and wouldn't know.
And do you think he just is that brazen?
Yes.
To walk in and just turn all these lights on and not worry like a little kid's going to come walking out?
That's what I thought. But I don't know.
I know.
With his rap sheet, I can see him really not caring.
Right.
So this theory, problems with this? Why was the cadaver dog claiming there was a cadaver there? Like we said earlier, they can be wrong.
Right.
That's not cadaver dog is not good for Deborah, but like we said earlier, it could be anything. False positives. And also we talked about the no fingerprints thing.
Sure.
Yeah, because he was already working.
Well, and he did have gloves on.
Yes.
So they did fingerprinting, but they didn't find any fingerprints except for the family.
No.
Okay.
None.
So nothing.
No.
But you think though, if he walked back there, that could take literally less than a minute to walk in, grab her, walk out.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. So he probably wouldn't leave any DNA.
No. And sadly enough, John Jersey Tanko was never convicted with the crime related to the disappearance of Lisa Irwin. They did bring him in for questioning, but what happened was, you remember those sightings where we saw him?
The Pascal.
Yes.
Pascals,
one of them said, I don't think it was John Jersey Tanko.
And then they're like.
And so, yes. So, yeah, that witness said it looked like him. Some said it did, some said it did not. And so because of the did nots, he was released and was no longer a person of interest.
Because it's all what we call circumstantial, basically.
Yeah. And inconsistencies in his identification. Yeah. So, okay, here is where he is now. He is currently incarcerated, thank goodness, and being convicted of vehicle tampering charges.
Not breaking and entering. I figured he would have got caught with this.
So he won't be in there for a long, long time, but he is currently in prison, not freely living. And so...
Yeah, you just know he's in the correctional system.
And I don't know if he's in the correctional system in Missouri or if he's...
where he's at.
I don't know where he is, but I do know that he's not right at this moment walking the streets.
And, okay, so here's a quick question about him. So Jeremy and Deborah would have known Jersey.
I think they would have.
Like when they saw him, they would be like, "Oh, that's
a familiar face.
That's the guy who does odd jobs in the neighborhood."
I think so, yeah.
Type of thing. But they didn't know anything about this Megyn Wright.
No.
They don't know her. Mm-mm. Okay. So
wow. Let's talk a little bit about Megyn Wright and the phone situation.
Okay,
because I told you we would come back to that.
Yes.
Okay, so how could he have been found innocent with that suspicious phone call? I don't know.
Because who else could someone else have called her? Like what was
who?
Yeah.
Whoever took the phones, they think took the baby and made the call.
Right.
So the police stated that they believe that it was the person who took Lisa that made that call. I told you that earlier. Okay. So what happened with that?
Yeah.
Megyn Wright ended up being an ex-girlfriend of Jersey.
So it's an ex-girlfriend of his.
Yes. This is his ex-girlfriend.
Come on. This is not just like coincidence.
They brought her into questioning because one of the missing cell phones called her.
Right.
Totally Jersey.
Yes.
Don't you agree?
Yes. And so that means, that right there, he at some point had to have been in the house to access the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So and if it's 11, the timeline, everything's putting him there.
Oh, Megyn,
I don't understand.
Just wait till you see our drive-by timeline.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So Megyn Wright told the police that yes, she thought that was him, that she really wanted a baby.
What?
And perhaps Jersey was trying to steal one for her, like a gift for their on and off on relationship.
What?
Yes.
Like it's a new.
So you would think
car or
right here,
a birthday gift.
Yeah. No, here's a baby.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
You said you wanted a baby. I'll go get you one. Wow. Okay. So there's obviously some dots that are connecting here.
Yes, there's a very clear connection, I think.
And if they have 100% proof that came from one of Deborah or Jeremy's cell phones,
then I think that's
to me
100% proof that he was in their house.
If nothing else, he was in their house.
He was.
That's against the law.
And maybe he had done work there and knew the layout of the house a little bit, even.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
And it's not really hard to figure out from the outside the layout of a ranch house.
No.
It's easy to be like, well, that's probably the living room.
Yes.
That's probably the bathroom or a bedroom. Yes.
Yes.
So he probably knew.
Yes. So anyway, you would think with this phone thing to be the end of the story, but no. And that's because some people believe that for some reason, the information about this phone and everything around it was being purposely withheld so that the police can use it to their advantage in the investigation. Now, I don't know if I believe that or not. The police believe that Megyn is completely innocent. This is the current report on her.
Okay,
and that she has fully cooperated with the police. Once again, no one has done one single day for this. And we still don't know where she is.
Have you seen any interviews with this girl,
Megyn Wright?
Megyn Wright?
Yes.
And does she seem sincere?
No. I don't. She just
do you feel like she could know more than she's saying?
She just looks shady.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know how else to say it.
I know. Well, and so if you go on your gut instinct, you're like, something's off.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got two theories. We've got Deborah. We've got Jersey. Another theory is Deborah, Jeremy, and Jersey. They simply sold her. Yes. So we went to this book thing you and I did for our podcast.
The Get a Clue thing.
And I ran into a lady who told me about the Deborah, Jeremy, and Jersey theory. That Deborah and Jeremy sold him right there.
Sold Lisa?
Or at least she did while he was at work. Right there to a man on foot, handed him over, got the money, and he walks off and does all the stuff all the fires and everybody sees him and so on. That's another theory. Anyway, okay, I'll tell you in a second. But
yeah, to me, that doesn't make any sense. Number one,
they would have to completely stage their house and all kinds of stuff.
And she just went to the store and bought all the stuff she needs for her baby. Why would she then hand her baby over
in a diaper?
In a diaper.
Why wouldn't she at least give him like a little diaper bag with a few things in it?
Because if you're like, well, she knew she was going to sell her, so she went to the store to get all the stuff. Well, according to all eyewitnesses, there's nothing on the baby or with the person. So, yeah, that doesn't make sense.
So perhaps someone was ready for the baby. If he gave it to someone, they were all ready.
Well, maybe, but that still doesn't make sense.
And maybe they've been watching the couple and knew that it was baby girl and everything they needed.
Well, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so that theory. Now, the fourth theory is the neighbor, James Brando, Samantha's husband.
The friend that
drank on the front stoop with her. Okay. For a long time, I didn't realize this, and I don't remember hearing anything about him. He was the focus.
Oh, really?
Yes. But...
like in the beginning?
Yes, in the beginning. But with surveillance cameras and interviews with people that he crossed paths with, his cell phone location, all that information, he was very thoroughly investigated and was ruled out.
So why was he so investigated so hard?
Probably just because his wife was next door drinking. I don't know.
Yeah, something.
And he knew the layout of their house and knew that she was drunk, the mom was drunk, and things like that.
Sure. And having easy access, maybe being the neighbor, and
okay. Oh, maybe his wife staged it and left the door unlocked, something stupid like that.
Okay. But he was ruled out.
And then there's the theory of none of them. Maybe everyone,
nobody we've
talked about.
Somebody completely different.
Yeah, just came in, took the baby. Thought they could frame Jersey or Deborah and all of that.
So just somebody who maybe knew they had a baby, had kind of watched them,
had an opportunity to nab her, and just did it.
Ugh.
Okay, so as part of our look into these cases, we had talked to you guys about the fact that we went to go visit the location. Yes. So when I say we did a drive-by, that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
To clarify.
We're scoping out the scene.
We did go to the Baby Lisa neighborhood where all this stuff happened.
Yes.
And
we were very respectful. It wasn't like we loitered outside the house or anything.
I will tell you that people were very alert and very aware of our presence.
Agreed.
And that we were outsiders because this has been going on for 14 years now. So
yeah.
I am 95% sure that they still live there, don't you think?
Maybe even a little more than that. Yeah, the house, the way I described it, I think as we drove by, to me, it felt like the house was like stuck in time.
Yes.
It was stuck in 2011.
Absolutely.
And to me, when I looked at it, it was like all the neighborhood had continued to kind of grow and people had improved their homes and done things. I mean, it was really a cute little neighborhood.
Yeah.
But that home was like stuck.
Yeah. And Megyn and I even said, that neighborhood looked like the neighborhood we grew up in. And I would still live in the I would live in this neighborhood to this day.
Cute little neighborhood.
People, in general take care of their stuff, and it's just, there's no HOA or anything like that, but just.
I'd read that maybe it wasn't a good location in Kansas City.
Right.
And so you're, what you picture. And again, you can't trust everything you read because I'm like, no, this is a nice little neighborhood that was probably built in the 50s or 60s. And
something that is not true that a lot of people keep saying is that this happened in Independence, Missouri. It did not. This was Kansas City, Missouri.
Actually, kind of North Kansas City.
Yes, North Kansas City off Lister Avenue. And so a lot of reports say they live in Independence. They do not.
And like Mindy said, there were people out mowing their yards and doing some things, and we did drive around the block a couple times. And after we went by like the second time, you could tell people were like, okay, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
We know why you're here.
Because we did go by a few times.
Yes. So they are on guard.
So using the information and maps that we had about Jersey and the sightings we had about him that night, we tried to retrace the route he took if he did take her based on the sightings.
Yes.
So of course we started at Baby Lisa's house. Then
before you go on, tell them what was in the window of their house.
Oh my gosh. So the windows are just full of Baby Lisa signs.
Yeah. There's a giant window.
Yeah.
into the living room. I mean, how big do you think that post? I mean, it was like the whole size
It
of
was
the
a whole window.
Yeah, it was giant. That basically like all the signs you see around town of her. Yeah. So I mean, it's you can. It looks like they still live there.
They absolutely do.
Yes.
And so anyway, so I was able to find the Pascals' home based on a map I had and a picture of their house. So we estimated that it took about 3 minutes to walk from the Irwin house past the Pascals' house.
Yes.
Isn't that what we decided after it took
about because it's a pretty big hill that we go up to get to is it Parscales or
the Parscales? And I'm sorry if I'm not saying that right.
I know, but it was like a pretty good
steep hill.
Yeah,
it was.
You went like around a corner, and then it was a little steep hill. So we thought, probably about 3 minutes from their front door to their front door.
So after we passed their house, we went to the nearest BP gas station, which was backed up to the woods, guys.
Yes.
And after looking at the footage from that night, where you can see, I encourage you, if you look into this case, to look at the footage from the BP gas station. After looking at the footage from that night, I am 100% certain we were at the right BP.
Yes.
And also this morning, I went ahead and called 3 BPs in that area, and they've all been in business for 15 to 20 years.
So they all were there.
So it was definitely a BP 14 years ago. And
we were shocked it was still a BP.
Yeah. And I mean, seriously, the footage and where it's the same it's the same one.
Place.
Yes.
And we'll put some of this footage and articles and things we mention on our Patreon in our Baby Lisa Irwin collection. So if you're interested, you can go there.
So anyway, it was 4 miles from the Parscales to the BP. We estimated that it would take a man with a baby walking through the backwoods 1.5 to 2 hours to do that.
Yeah.
The Parscales sighting at 12:15. So you've got that. Then they passed the other woman that I don't have a lot of information about at 12:30. Then they got to the BP at 2:45 in a total of 2.5 hours. This lines up almost perfectly, guys, with the Jersey sightings timeline.
So we were pretty accurate.
We were really accurate, Megyn.
Look at us go.
Kind of gave me chills. So
and then
yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then he just kept walking, and that's when he ran into Mike Thompson at 4 a.m. And after that, we know nothing.
Oh my gosh.
So my theory is that she was abducted by Jersey and sold.
Yeah.
I very much think she is alive today.
Yes.
I really, really do. I don't think he's ever done a day in jail because he really didn't kill her. He abducted her. He didn't kill her. But I think this Jersey is responsible for it. I think she may be alive today, maybe not even knowing that she was abducted.
Right.
And perhaps maybe even leads a normal life.
And even knows about the Baby Lisa case.
Yes.
Tell me that wouldn't be crazy.
Or she has been in human sex trafficking since day one. They tend to do what they call grooming people into sex trafficking. I do not with all my heart believe that Deborah or Jeremy had anything to do with it.
I don't either.
Anything at all. And I just think she's still alive. I really wish or hope that maybe if she is still alive, I would think that Jeremy and Deborah have definitely done the 23andMe and the Ancestry.com stuff.
I would think because of all that can happen with that nowadays. Yeah. I mean, because it's been crazy. The number of cases where people either looking because they found out they were adopted or didn't know they were adopted.
Yes.
And then they're like,
yes.
Yeah.
So have you ever heard about the case of Carolina White?
Okay. A little. Tell me about that.
When she was 23, she discovered her own illegal adoption. She had actually been nabbed from the hospital crib. And when she was 23, discovered her own illegal adoption
through one of those tests.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure the route she took, but she figured it out.
And her parents had never told her?
No.
And were they the ones who nabbed her?
Yes.
Oh,
so that's
my
something
gosh.
to look
Oh,
into.
wow. That's a whole nother thing. Okay.
So anyway, I told you before, after looking at the case and listening to her talk, I'm 100% convinced they're innocent. And also, okay, Deborah just doesn't seem like the person who could kill her baby being so drunk. Like, that's some criminal mastermind shit to do all that
Right.
when you're really, really, really wasted. I
Right.
just don't see that working out for her.
And my guess is she drank fairly regularly.
Maybe.
And has she ever shown any signs of being like an aggressive drunk? So, I mean,
Right.
probably not, or else she wouldn't have drank around her kids. So, to me, that makes
Yeah.
no sense.
And I mean, her husband's alibi, he completely checks out. He was at a
at
Starbucks
work.
on camera the whole entire night. He was at work,
Yes.
and there's no way she could have fucking disposed of a baby that quickly. So, and like we talked about, they say, what about the cadaver dogs? But they can be wrong. We
For
talked
sure.
about that. They can produce false positives.
And again, it wasn't like they found blood. They just hit
No.
on something that
Yes.
smelled
Yeah.
like Baby Lisa.
So, and I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's my theory, is that she's alive, and maybe
Yes.
there's some still some hope. And what do you think, Megyn?
I agree with what you said. I feel like, and of course, as the family and the parents, you want to have hope.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they have reason to be hopeful.
I do too.
I do. Because there's a lot of stories out there like that where, years later, someone's been found or come back and made that connection. It breaks my heart to think maybe she was sold into sex trafficking.
Yeah.
That breaks my heart. And if that is the case, more than likely, they may not know what happened to her.
Well, think about it. If it is sex trafficking and she's almost 14, this is the age to put her to, if she's been groomed for all these years, now's where they're going to put her out there.
And it makes you wonder, like, are they investigating that side still?
Mm-hmm.
Are there still people who have Baby Lisa's file and are looking all the time? Okay, this is someone who could be in sex trafficking. I hope so.
I hope so.
I don't believe the parents had anything to do with it either. Just based on all the stuff you told me and what I've read about it. I mean, to me, this Jersey, there's a lot of things pointing to him and only him. Yeah. So it just makes me so sad for the family too, that, like I said, they're stuck in time. They're stuck on October 4th, 2011. Well, is where they're at.
Listen to this. Okay. Her parents, Jeremy and Deborah, to this day, still buy her Christmas and birthday presents, and they wrap them, Megyn, and they put them in a room, and the room is just full of presents.
For each stage of her life.
Yes.
Oh, no. And
I guess.
In hopes that, like, if she comes
back,
home,
we thought of you every single year.
Yes.
And, yeah.
So she's coming up on 14 years old.
Yeah, she'll be 14 this November 11th.
And, I mean, isn't there a substantial reward?
There's a $100,000 award still, y'all.
Wow.
On her.
Yes.
If you are listening to this and you know anything to this day and you're scared Tanko's gonna fuck with you, come forward. Like,
he's in jail.
He is in jail, but not for this. Right. And unfortunately, he's in jail for something that he's not going to be in
jail.
Yeah, he can get out.
But you can be anonymous.
You can definitely be anonymous. Yes. You can anonymously take $100,000.
What we've learned just in a little bit of doing this podcast and researching these cases is that if something seems off or strange, report it. Better safe than sorry. And if people would have went with their gut instinct, or when they saw something, said something, a lot of these cases could have maybe turned out differently.
Yes.
And I'm not judging anyone, because we all react differently in situations. But yeah, Mindy's got some good contact information.
But can I just say one more thing about this whole case that really
bothers you?
Baby monitor.
Yeah, I know.
Baby monitor. Yes. I know that they don't have them. I talked to my good friend Jennifer. Thank you for this information. And she told me, she's a new grandbaby, that the baby monitors now do record and
like have video.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that would have been awesome to
even like, when my boys were little, they were babies in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And we had sound and they picked up every sound. So you're like, even if maybe she'd had a baby monitor turned up loud.
She could have heard her
A noise.
be taken
Yes.
or something.
Because, you know, I mean, it just, again, who knows? The whole thing is just, you can, as always, we can and wonder.
And as you guys know, if you have any tips, you can call the Kansas City Police Department at 816-234-5136, or you can email missingperson@kcpd.org. The tips hotline number is still 816-474-8477. So that's all about the Baby Lisa case for today.
We'll put all those contact pieces in our description as usual. We'll put those there. So if you do need that email or phone number and end up knowing something, or someone you know does, that information will be there along with all resources. And again, we'll put a lot of information on our Patreon under the Baby Lisa Irwin case. So some of the things we mentioned, if you want to look into that a little further, you can do that. Thank you to everyone who's already subscribed on our Patreon.
Oh, we need to do a prayer.
Yes. Oh, yes. We definitely need to do a prayer.
Can't forget the prayer.
No. So so let's do that. You want to do that or me?
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I just want to talk to you today, and we just ask that you help with this Baby Lisa case. It is still open investigation, and there are possibilities that she is out there. We just ask that if she is, you just guide her in the right direction, Lord. We also want to pray for everyone involved in the case, the family, the friends, the neighbors, everyone, and even John Tanko, Jersey, whatever, him also, Lord, because, man, if he knows something and would just come forward still to this day, Lord, I just ask that you lead him in the right direction with that. And anyway, in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Again, you guys, thank you so much for listening. I'm going to give a big quick shout out to Casey, who has been a big support of us.
Thanks,
She's
Casey.
Reached out to say, just to give us some good feedback and some positivity. So we appreciate that.
Thank you, Bren.
Yes, there's so many.
And Jennifer. And yes, so many people.
So many people. Of course, our family, and just we'll be doing shout outs regularly. Can't say thank you enough. So you guys, until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and stay kind. Thank you for listening. This has been Missouri Mayhem, Mystery and Murder. I'm Megan.
And I'm Mindy.
Missouri, you bring the mystery.
And we will bring the mayhem. Peace out.